How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another deck video. Today we're going to be going over Magcargo. Probably one of the weaker decks in the U150 format, but it is a deck and it can steal some wins. It does have a couple things that it can counter pretty easily if you're trying to metagame it and you have a very specific meta you're looking at. Magcargo can steal some games here and there, but it's not the best deck. But then again, it is in our tournament and it did just get done playing around, so we're going to talk about it. The four Magcargos we're looking at playing are Magcargo XY, Magcargo Deoxys, Magcargo Permaclash, and Half-Art Magcargo Permaclash. They are all non-EXs, so that's awesome. This one does 20 and then snipes 2 for 20, so you got a decent spread here. Smooth over, once during your turn you can search your deck for a card and put it on top of your deck. This combos well with Claydol for extra consistency in the deck. This one does 30. You can discard a card from the top of your deck. If it's a fire energy, it does 50 more, and there's a lot of stuff that does manipulate the top of your deck, so that's awesome there. And then this Magcargo can't be catcher, can't be energy removal, can't be anything because of its trait, so it can sit on the bench and charge up, and then a Dominable Blaze swinging 120 on an EX, and not having an EX trait itself is pretty great. It kind of doesn't matter what Slugmas you play, but I will mention this Slugma does have a very nice ability, Active Volcano. Once during your turn, you may discard the top card of your deck. If it's a fire energy, attach it to Slugma. Good acceleration there. So you can do that, then like DCE and Broken Time Space, and go right into this and swing for 120. So it does kind of have energy, acceleration to itself, but those attacks are all, the second attacks are all fairly underpowered for as much energy. So, Magcargo, kind of underwhelming, like I'm saying. I'm going to be saying that a lot this video, but I just wanted to let you know that this deck exists. You have this Mantine. Once during your turn, you may search your discard pile for an energy, show it to your opponent, and put it on top of your deck. So that already synergizes with a lot of stuff over here. You do take 10 damage when you do it, but, I mean, you have scoop up effects, max potion, that sort of thing, so this isn't really going to do much. I throw these in almost every single fire deck that I play these days, just because this can just run games, and this is great acceleration for a 130 non-EX. And if you blacksmith to it, you're dealing 100 damage on a 130 HP non-EX. Like, these deserve to be in every fire deck. I have been considering putting Speed Gain Rayquaza in every fire deck as well. Just all you need is 2 lightning energies and a Speed Gain on the bench. So consider those 3, but for now we're going to put these 2 in every fire-based deck we see. And then over here we're going to be going over the 10 that we put in every single deck. You got the 2 Porygons, the 2 Porygons, the Claydol line, and then the 4 best support in every single deck. These are your best bench sitters. You always want to have 2 of them out. If you have 1 of them out, you run the risk of being catchered up when you have a dead hand. Like, they do some sort of shuffle draw, like an N or a red card or a Sabrina's Gaze, something like that, and then they gust up and kill one of these guys. You can be in a bad position because you have no draw on board, and they can just run the table from there. So you always want to have 2 of these out. That's why you play 3 things. And then you also have the standard 4 here, your 2 best starters in the game, and your 2 best mid to late game drop power stuff. Consistency boosting. U150, want to be consistent as possible because there's 100 cards in your deck. Just kind of makes sense, right? Anyways, moving on. We're going to go on to supporters. Most of these are staple. There's a lot of these that you'll see in every single deck. Stuff like Guzma, Lysander in every deck, Juniper in every deck. Ooh, got some bad glare there. Apologies. Sycamore in every deck, Wally in most every deck, as long as you have some sort of evolutions, you're playing this card. Teammates in every deck, Skyla in every deck, Sages, Rosies, Rockets, all these are in every single deck. Oak, Collector, Mallow, or Oracle, they combo well with Claydol. N, Marley's Request in every single deck here. Trump card, Karina, because you play Claydol. It only makes sense to play that for extra fighting search. Hex Maniac, every single deck. I don't think there's any reason not to play it. Copycat and Colress, best draw support. You also have Beyblades for search, and AZ to pick up stuff. You either want AZ or Brimey. So you want 1 of the 2 in every single deck. That's mostly the staple stuff there. I'm clearing these out to make way for the 2 non-staple supporters. These supporters you'll find in a lot of decks, but these 2 you won't. You'll find them mostly in fire decks. Blacksmith, really good acceleration for fire Pokemon. being able to play Blacksmith and then like download Blacksmith in the same turn to accelerate 4 fire energies is too good to keep up. And then early Kiawes are what make fire decks like a little bit more viable now. Getting that turn 1 Kiawe out if you can, or even turn 2 sitting behind a Spiritomb, just makes this deck so much more dangerous, because now your the worst part about Magcargo is the energy costs. Kiawe kind of alleviates that if you can hit it early. And since you play Lapras, hitting it early isn't the hardest thing in the world. We're going to move into items here. Kind of blasting through decks today. A lot of staple stuff here, you'll see. Acrobike, very staple. Battle Compressor is not very stable, but it does synergize well with Blacksmith, being able to Battle Compressor and then Blacksmith away. Or it does work well where you get rid of fire energies and you Mantine those fire energies back on top for all of your synergy that you have with your top card being a fire energy. Bill, draw 2 cards, works well with Mallow and Oracle. Computer Surge in every deck. Erica, just a little extra draw support. This deck is not very great, so any extra help we can get it, we're going to with Erica. Escape Rope, I like Escape Rope in a lot of situations. Evo Soda, because we are playing Evolutions. Heavy Ball, because most all of your stuff is actually heavy. If we look here, Magcargo's 3, Magcargo's 4, Magcargo 3, Magcargo 3. All your Magcargos are roll searchable, and one of your Slugmas is. So it searches out your main line. None of these are, they're all 2 and 1s, yeah. So it searches out your main line, so Heavy Ball, getting your main attacker, you're going to use. And Posture-Oak's Invention, I love this card. It can win games on its own. I think it's the best card in the format. Item Finder and Junk Arm, very standard staple looking stuff. Level Ball, Luxury Ball, Misty's Wrath, Pal Pad. You know, I'm not going to go over these cards a billion times. If you watch one video, you've seen them all. These cards are in every single deck. Pokédex Handy is not in every single deck, but you do have a lot of top deck manipulation. So Pokédex Handy to get the 1 card you need on top of your deck with the Smooth or Slugma, just extra ways to draw cards off of that. Pokemon Communication, Pokemon Retriever in every deck, Professor's Oak in every deck, Scoop Up in every deck. Still got a couple more, and all these are very standard looking stuff here as well. Super Rod, Swoop Teleporter, Ultra Ball, Versus Seeker, Warp Point, and Windstorm. So you notice I am playing 2 switching cards right here. That is because your main attackers are fatties, and you would hate to have them Lysander stalled if it comes to that. So, that phone just went off. Pew! So, all of that stuff. Nothing too exciting in the item department. It's mostly staple stuff plus a little bit of extra draw because of Smooth Over, being able to draw cards off the top of your deck with that, and because this deck is kind of fat anyways, and because if you play your supporter for your turn being Blacksmith or Kiawe, Kiawe you can't do anything after. If you play Blacksmith for your turn, you still want to be able to draw. So a little extra draw support goes a long way. Supporters, stadiums, speaking of draw support, you're going to Broken Time Space because it's in any deck that has evolutions at all. And then Scorched Earth for that little extra draw power, and to get Fire Energies in the discard pile for Blacksmith. So, get both of those. Tool cards, I think you were looking at 5 of these guys here. You're going to be seeing a very staple Floatstone and Muscle Band. These cards are in most every deck. Choice Band to give you that little extra damage, because this deck does lack damage at times, so that plus 30 can go a long way. And then, like I said, the energy costs for this deck are an issue, so having EXP Share and Wishful Baton in your deck kind of force your opponent to either hit their Windstorm, or you're going to keep your energy on board, and you're going to keep circling through all of your Magcargos, and hopefully taking knockouts. Like I said, hopefully. This deck is very underwhelming, but it is still a deck. You have all of your Elite 4 and Dowsing Machine. Dowsing Machine's the best ace spec, and there's no reason not to play in the Elite 4. So, easy as that. And then we're going to be looking at energies here. Your 2 special energies you're playing Burning Energy and Double Rainbow Energy. There are attacks that do require you to discard energy, so you play Burning to keep that on there. And then Double Rainbow, none of your stuff is EXs, so being able to charge up Magcargo in 1 attachment is awesome. That's where that is right there. Fire energies, we're going to be playing 3, 6, 9, 12, another 15er here. It's a lot of energies. You could convince me to cut 2, maybe even 3 energies off of this for other consistency cards or damage boosting cards or something like that. 15 is a lot, but you are playing Scorched Earth, so having that extra draw 2 readily available and still have your attachment, kind of worth playing 15. Since you're playing 15, you could play, like I said, this deck does worry about energy acceleration. You could play Max Elixir, because you're playing 15 of them, to easily charge up Volcanion or Victini. So, that does it for Magcargo. If you have any questions, please let me know. Like I said, this deck is kind of underwhelming, but if you do want to use it at a tournament or anything like that, go for it. You won't be disappointed. It is kind of fun to use Smooth Over a whole bunch of times to grab whatever you want. It's the equivalent of like Quick Search Pidgeot, just in a little bit easier fashion to get out. Quick Search Pidgeot is busted. It's just kind of hard to fit that 1-1-1 line into a lot of decks. So having it built into your line that you're already playing is pretty cool. So, if you have any questions, like I said, let me know. If not, have a good one.